So Chris asked if I have an agreement for X and the new home builder's offering less, but offering, a large seller credit, can he get the additional to cover his commission? So, Chris, that's a great question. I'm going to tell you with builders, they get really controlling, I'll say, on how those credits get applied. So you would have to find out from that builder if they'll allow it. But again, remember though that your commission now just moved to the buyer side of the settlement statement. So if there's a credit there, arguably the buyer's still required to pay you whatever it is you agreed to with the buyer. So if the seller's only giving a portion of it, you are entitled to collect the difference from the buyer, period. Whether that is applied by the credit, like the credit that the seller is giving to the buyer gets added to that or not, I can't control that builder. But traditionally, the answer would be yes, credits could be applied towards the buyer side of the settlement statement. But I will tell you, some builders, they might reduce their credit if they think it's going to pay a fee that they don't feel they should have to pay. So I have seen that before. So you'd have to talk with that builder. But generally speaking, the answer is yes, that can be done. If you have a listing that's pending prior to the 17th, do I still need to provide listing disclosures? Okay, that seems like a very California thing, or whatever state you're in. So I'm not sure. Ask your broker. And then Rakietha, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the name. What was that?
Rakitha, you got it right the first time.
Rakitha. So Rakitha said, in the case where a buyer signs an agreement to pay X and the seller is willing to pay Y, we can take a lesser amount so the buyer now pays the difference, and the seller's covering the gap. So no, you don't reduce your agreement. Your agreement is X, and let's say the seller's paying half, right, or a portion of it, you would collect the difference from the buyer, right? You don't need to amend your agreement for that. What you do is you write it in the offer that the seller is going to pay X. If it comes in as a concession, you can write it in the offer. At least so far, that's what the general understanding is, unless there's something in your state that prohibits you from putting commissions in offers. But otherwise, you can do a seller direct pay where the seller pays this, and the conversation with their buyer is, hey, I'm getting one portion on the seller side of the settlement statement. I'm getting the other portion on the buyer side of the settlement statement. And that's how you work that out, okay? So sellers are not writing checks. Buyers are not writing checks. It all runs through settlement or escrow, like it always has. It's just which side of the settlement statement your fee as a buyer's agent lives on, okay?